Victoria Ashford Lane doesn't walk into Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom. She arrives, and in the first 3 steps, every single person in the building knows this is not going to be a normal case. Because no one has ever entered a courtroom like this. The 28-year-old socialite glides down the aisle like it's the Met Gala, not a court of law. A $25,000 Chanel tweed suit, millennial pink. A $40,000 Hermes Birkin hanging casually from her arm. Oversized Dior sunglasses, still on. Indoors, inside a courtroom. Her heels click against the tile, slow and deliberate. Each step sounding less like footsteps and more like a countdown. And then people realize something that makes their stomachs drop. She's not alone. 3 steps behind her. A professional photographer. Not court staff. Not media. Hers. Camera gear worth thousands. Lens already adjusted. Finger on the shutter. Beside him, a trembling assistant clutching an iPad and a ring light. Actually scanning the courtroom like it's a fashion shoot. Whispers ripple through the gallery. Someone gasps. An elderly man mutters, "This can't be real." But it is. Victoria stops in the center aisle. She does not approach the defense table. She does not acknowledge Judge Caprio. Instead, she turns slightly, places one hand on her hip, tilts her chin. A perfect red carpet pose. The camera shutter explodes through the silent courtroom. Click, click, click. The sound lands like gunfire. Victoria leans toward her assistant and whispers, loud enough for half the room to hear. "Make sure you get my good side. This is content. The lighting is awful, but we'll fix it in post. This is going to be amazing for engagement." The assistant nods, frantically typing notes. The courtroom stares in collective disbelief. This is not arrogance anymore. This is delusion. In that moment, Victoria Ashford Lane believes she's in control. She thinks this courtroom is just another backdrop. Another set. Another opportunity to monetize attention. What she doesn't know is that in less than 1 hour, Judge Frank Caprio is going to dismantle her entire persona piece by piece. Not with anger. Not with shouting, but with something far more dangerous to an influencer. Truth. The clerk clears his throat. The state of Rhode Island versus Victoria Ashford Lane. The room tightens. Driving under the influence. 3rd offense within 18 months. Hit and run with significant property damage. Leaving the scene without rendering aid. Obstruction of justice through deletion of digital evidence. Filing a false police report. Each charge hits like a hammer. The gallery leans forward. Victoria? She checks her nails. Shifts her weight. Like she's waiting for a latte. For those who don't know Victoria Ashford Lane, she's famous for being famous. 3.2 million Instagram followers. Trust fund royalty. Luxury hotels. Champagne brands. Designer deals. Her bio reads, "Living my best life." She's never had a real job, never built anything, never faced consequences. Until today, Judge Frank Caprio finally looks up. Calm, patient, unmoved by labels or luxury. And in that moment, no one realizes it yet. But the influencer who walked in wearing Chanel is about to walk out stripped of everything money couldn't protect. Judge Caprio's voice is calm, measured, heavy with decades on the bench. "Ms. Ashford Lane, remove your sunglasses and approach the defendant's table." Victoria doesn't move. She stays planted in the center aisle, one hand still on her hip. With the other, she gives a lazy, dismissive wave, like she's brushing away an inconvenience. "Actually, it's just Lane now. I dropped Ashford for branding purposes. Cleaner, more aspirational, better for SEO. The courtroom stirs. She tilts her head slightly, still not removing the glasses. "And I really can't take these off, Your Honor. The lighting in here is brutal for my skin." A pause. "My dermatologist, Dr. Rothman on the east side. He's amazing. Says harsh lighting causes premature aging and hyperpigmentation." Maintaining my appearance is literally part of my job. A voice from the back row breaks the silence. You've got to be kidding me. Judge Caprio's expression doesn't change, but something in his eyes does. A subtle tightening. A quiet warning. Ms. Lane, he says evenly. This is a courtroom, not a photography studio. Remove your sunglasses immediately and show this court the basic respect it deserves. Victoria exhales loudly, an exaggerated sigh, like a teenager dealing with an out-of-touch parent. Slowly, dramatically, she removes the sunglasses. Not because she wants to, but because she feels forced. She slips them into her Birkin, then pulls out a compact mirror. The gallery stiffens. She studies her reflection intensely, touches up her makeup, then pulls out lipstick. Dior Addict. Shade 976. She reapplies it carefully, while the judge is still speaking. The bailiff takes a hesitant step forward, unsure whether this is contempt of court or something even worse. Victoria snaps the compact shut. Fine, but if I get sun damage from these lights, fine lines, age spots, I'm blaming the city's completely outdated infrastructure. This building clearly hasn't been updated since the 1970s. The courtroom is dead silent. Judge Caprio finally asks, Ms. Lane, do you understand the charges against you? Victoria checks her lipstick one more time. I understand this is a massive misunderstanding. Honestly, my legal team should have handled this quietly. She glances toward her attorney. That's literally what I pay them $600 an hour for. Why am I even here in person? Couldn't we have done this over Zoom? She smiles faintly. I have a brand collaboration meeting at 3. Swiss watch company. Very exclusive. They're flying in from Geneva just to meet me. Judge Caprio takes a slow breath. This is your third DUI in 18 months. You left the scene of an accident. You destroyed a vehicle someone relied on for their livelihood and provided no aid. These are serious criminal charges, he continues, punishable by significant penalties, including jail time. Victoria is examining her nails, turning her hand to catch the light, not listening. First of all, destroyed is dramatic. It was barely a scratch, maybe a dent. She shrugs. Second, I didn't leave the scene. I had a prior engagement. There's a difference. Another pause. And third, I wasn't drunk. I had like 2 glasses of champagne. Maybe 3. Possibly 4. But they were small glasses. She finally looks up, as if explaining something obvious to someone slow. So basically, nothing. Judge Caprio begins, carefully. Ms. Lane. She cuts him off. Quick question. Should I call you Your Honor or Judge? I need to know for my audience. A few gasps ripple through the room. When I post about this later, I want to get the terminology right. My followers appreciate authenticity. Judge Caprio doesn't blink. You may address me as Your Honor, he says firmly. And right now, you will explain why you filed a false police report claiming your vehicle was stolen. Victoria laughs. A light, tinkling sound, completely disconnected from reality. Oh, that? Yeah, so my publicist Marcus, he's amazing, said it was the best narrative for my brand. Her attorney stiffens. We had an emergency meeting. Me, Marcus, my social media manager Tiffany, and my lawyer. She waves cheerfully. Hi, Bernie. Bernard does not wave back. We agreed the stolen car story was the cleanest explanation. It's just crisis management, Your Honor. She smiles. My followers expect perfection. When little incidents happen, we craft a story that protects the brand. The courtroom sits frozen, because Victoria Ashford Lane just admitted, on the record, to lying to the police. And Judge Caprio is done being patient. Judge Caprio leans forward, hands folded, disbelief carefully contained. Ms. Lane, he says evenly, you lied to police officers during a criminal investigation to protect an aesthetic. Victoria waves it off with a flick of her wrist. Not lied, Your Honor. We curated the truth. A ripple of stunned murmurs. Curating is literally my job. I curate outfits, experiences, narratives. She smiles, confident. My followers don't pay with money. They pay with attention. And attention converts into revenue. She shrugs. The stolen car story was cleaner, more sympathetic, better aligned with my brand values. She leans back. That's not deception. That's marketing. Her attorney, Bernard Hayes, rises slowly. Tired eyes. Tight jaw. Your Honor, he begins carefully. My client is young and may not fully understand the legal ramifications. Victoria stops him cold. She places a manicured hand on his arm. Bernie, stop. I've got this. She turns to the bench, genuinely puzzled. I understand perfectly. Victoria gestures broadly. This is just bureaucracy. Red tape. Her voice is casual. Entitled. My family has donated to this city for 3 generations. My grandfather's name is on the children's wing at Rhode Island Hospital. She lists it like brand credentials. The Ashford Lane Foundation supports the arts, scholarships, the symphony, the theater. She smiles. We've given millions. We're pillars of society. She tilts her head. So usually, things like this are handled quietly. Judge Caprio's voice sharpens. Ms. Lane, your family's philanthropy, however appreciated, does not place you above the law. It does not grant immunity. It does not erase criminal responsibility. Victoria frowns, genuinely confused. But doesn't it though? The courtroom stills. That's how it's always worked. In my experience. She continues, without shame. My father's DUI disappeared. My brother's cocaine charge vanished. My cousin crashed into a storefront and it became a civil matter. She shrugs. So I'm confused why this is different. No one breathes. No whispers. No movement. Judge Caprio exhales slowly. Mrs. Maria Santos, he says. Please approach the witness stand. A woman rises from the gallery. Hospital scrubs. Faded. Clean. Worn thin by years of work. She clutches a folder to her chest. Her hands shake. Victoria is scrolling on her phone. Thumbs flying. The bailiff steps forward. Judge Caprio stops him with a raised hand. He wants the contrast scene. Ms. Lane, the judge snaps. Put the phone down and listen. Victoria rolls her eyes and places it face down. Her fingers twitch toward it. Okay. I'm listening. Maria Santos takes a breath. Her voice trembles, then steadies. Your Honor, that car was everything to me. She swallows. I bought it used 7 years ago. Never missed a payment. $347 on the 15th of every month. Details spill out. Real, unfiltered. The radio only worked on AM. The AC died 2 summers ago. Her voice cracks. But it ran. It got me to work. It got my kids to school. She wipes her eyes. I'm a nurse at Rhode Island Hospital. I work night shifts. 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. She looks up. Public transportation doesn't run when I need it. Her voice tightens. Without that car, I can't work. Without work, I can't feed my children. A beat. I have 3 kids. 6, 9, and 11. Silence floods the room. 2 worlds, standing face to face. Maria's voice tightens. Their father hasn't been in the picture for 4 years. She grips the folder harder. That car wasn't just transportation, Your Honor. It was my lifeline. Victoria exhales loudly. An exaggerated, bored sigh. Her eyes drift back to her phone. Maria notices. Her voice hardens. She took a picture with my destroyed car. Like it was funny. The courtroom stiffens. Like my life wasn't collapsing in that moment. Maria swallows, then continues. She posted it to millions of people. Her hands shake. She mocked me. Said I parked badly. A beat. I was parked legally. I did nothing wrong. Maria pulls out a stack of receipts. Holds them up. Without my car, I've been taking Ubers. $400 in 2 weeks. Gasps ripple through the gallery. That's my grocery money for the month. Her voice breaks. My kids have been eating pasta and cereal. Tears fall. My daughter needed new shoes for school, and I had to tell her no. She looks directly at Victoria now, because I'm spending $50 a night just to get to work. Maria's composure finally cracks. She is everything, and she looked at my suffering. Her voice shakes, and thought it was content. Silence. She turned the worst day of my life into entertainment. Judge Caprio's face remains calm, but his eyes harden. Even the bailiff straightens. Judge Caprio speaks softly. Ms. Lane, do you have anything to say to Mrs. Santos? Victoria blinks. Looks up from her phone, clearly unprepared. Okay, this is getting really heavy. She sighs again. And honestly, kind of uncomfortable. She shrugs. I told my insurance company to handle it. That's what insurance is for. She smiles politely. So, problem solved. She frowns. I don't understand why we're dwelling on all this emotion. Judge Caprio's voice stays calm, dangerously so. Your insurance denied the claim because you filed a false police report. He pauses. Mrs. Santos has waited 2 weeks. While you've been, by your own words, living your best life. Victoria waves it off. That sounds like a problem between her and the insurance company. A shrug. Not really my responsibility. She tilts her head. I'm kind of the innocent party here. A stunned silence. Prosecutor Sarah Chun rises. Measured. Ready. Your Honor, the state would like to present recovered digital evidence. Judge Caprio nods. Proceed. The courtroom monitors flicker to life. Victoria's Instagram fills the screens. Stories she believed were deleted. Recovered. Preserved. Logged as evidence. Timestamp. 9:47 p.m. Victoria in front of a mirror. Champagne flute raised. For empty bottles behind her. Pre-game. Who's ready for an epic night? Laughter echoes, hollow now. Timestamp. 10:23 p.m. Inside the nightclub. Music thumping. Her speech slurred. Best night ever. Her eyes unfocused. Her movements unsteady. No one in the room misses it. Timestamp. 11:52 p.m. Minutes after the crash. The screen freezes the courtroom. Maria Santos's destroyed Honda Civic. Metal crushed. Glass everywhere. And Victoria. Smiling. Peace sign raised. Posing. The caption appears in bold. Oopsie. Someone parked badly, faced with tears of joy, see no evil monkey. A collective breath leaves the room. Content has become evidence. The final Instagram story plays. Victoria giggling. Some people just can't drive. LOL. The hashtags flash beneath it. Hashtag Monday mood. Hashtag living my best life. Her voice is slurred. Careless. Empty. The courtroom freezes. No coughing. No whispers. Even the air feels heavy. Comments scroll across the screen. Oh my God, Queen. You're glowing. Serve. Not one comment asking if anyone was hurt. Not one voice urging responsibility. Just applause. Just validation. Just encouragement to keep performing. Judge Caprio watches silently. So does Maria Santos. The prosecutor speaks. There is one more story, Your Honor. The screen changes. Timestamp. 12:08 a.m. Victoria is in her bathroom. Mascara streaking down her face. Her voice is quieter now, conspiratorial. Guys, don't tell anyone. She pinches her fingers together. I might have made a tiny mistake. A forced smile. But nothing daddy's lawyers can't fix, right? Hashtags appear. Hashtag blessed. Hashtag pros. The video cuts. Gasps ripple through the courtroom. The prosecutor continues. She deleted this story within 3 minutes. A pause. But 47 followers had already screen recorded it. Another pause. One of them sent it to the Providence Police Department. Victoria shoots to her feet. Her chair screeches across the floor. Wait, how did you get those? Her voice cracks. Those were deleted. They were private. That's my content. She points at the screen. That's intellectual property. You can't use that without my permission. Judge Caprio cuts in, calm, precise. Ms. Lane, you posted evidence of criminal activity on a public platform. A beat. You then attempted to destroy that evidence. Another beat. That is called obstruction of justice. Victoria turns to her lawyer, panic rising. Bernie, stop this. Tell him they can't do this. Bernard Hayes stands slowly. Tired. Defeated. Your Honor. I advised my client extensively. He looks at Victoria. She chose to post publicly. Then back to the judge. The evidence is admissible. Victoria spins on him. You're fired. Her voice shrill. I'll get real lawyers. Lawyers who make things disappear. Judge Caprio doesn't react. Doesn't raise his voice. Doesn't flinch. Ms. Lane, he says evenly. Based on the evidence, the testimony, and your own admissions. He pauses. I am prepared to deliver sentence. Victoria slumps back into her chair. Mascara streaks down her cheeks. Her perfect image is dissolving in real time. Judge Caprio stands. The entire courtroom straightens. You came into this courtroom believing your wealth, your name, and your followers made you special. His voice is quiet, yet crushing. That they placed you above people like Maria Santos. He looks toward Maria, a woman who works night shifts to feed her children. Then back to Victoria. But what I see is someone hollowed out by attention. You didn't see Maria Santos as a person. A pause. She was background scenery. Another pause. Her destroyed car was a prop. His words land heavier with each sentence. You live in a world where nothing matters unless it can be photographed, captioned, and monetized. Victoria breaks. Full sobs now. Hands over her face. This was supposed to be fixed quietly. With money. With influence. But none of it is working. Judge Caprio's voice steadies the room. You destroyed a woman's livelihood and took a selfie. You endangered lives while live streaming. You lied to police to protect your brand. He leans forward. And even now, you still don't understand. A final pause. You're not sorry for what you did. You're sorry you got caught. Silence. Heavy. Unforgiving. The judge lifts the sentencing document. The soft rustle of paper becomes the loudest sound in the room. No whispers. No movement. No phones. Every person in that courtroom understands one thing. Victoria Ashford Lane's life is about to change forever. Judge Caprio speaks, steady and precise. For driving under the influence, third offense. A fine of $5,000 and 30 days in county jail. Another page turns. For hit and run, $7, $500. For leaving the scene, $2, $500. For filing a false police report, $5,000. For obstruction of justice, $10,000. He looks up. Total fines, $30,000, paid from your personal trust fund within 30 days. Victoria barely reacts. Money has never been real to her. But then, Judge Caprio continues. I am suspending your driving privileges for 3 years. A pause. You will complete a mandatory alcohol treatment program. Another pause. And 90 Alcoholics Anonymous meetings in 90 days. The courtroom holds its breath. Judge Caprio isn't finished. You will complete 500 hours of community service. Victoria swallows. Then the hammer drops. You will perform this service at Rhode Island Hospital. The same hospital where Mrs. Santos works. Victoria's eyes widen. You will clean floors. Empty bedpans. Sanitize rooms. The judge leans forward. You will do the work you believe is beneath you. A beat. And you will do it where people can see you. So your followers will see you. So the city will see you. So everyone will know. Judge Caprio's voice is unshakable. That Victoria Ashford Lane is scrubbing toilets because she believed she was above the law. Victoria's mouth falls open. A whisper escapes her. No, people will take pictures. Her voice breaks. My career, my brand. Judge Caprio answers without hesitation. Yes, they will see you, and you will survive it. There will be a 6-month social media blackout. The courtroom gasps. All accounts frozen by court order. No posts. No stories. No engagement. He adds calmly. Your phone will be checked weekly. Any violation adds another 6 months. Victoria screams. Not cries. Screams. 6 months. I'll lose everything. Her voice cracks. You're killing who I am. Judge Caprio looks at her. Not angry. Not cruel. Almost sad. No, Mississippi Lane. I'm giving you a chance to find out who you are without the phone. One more thing. The judge's voice lowers. You will pay Mrs. Santos $25,000 directly as restitution. And you will write her a handwritten apology. Private. Sincere. Victoria is shaking now. And when you complete your sentence, the judge continues. You will create one final video. Victoria looks up, horrified. You will title it, The Truth About My Life. He doesn't blink. You will admit everything. The rented lifestyle. The purchased followers. The family money. The addiction to validation. It will be raw, unfiltered, honest. The court will approve it before it's posted. Victoria whispers, broken. You're making me admit I'm a fraud. Judge Caprio nods slowly. No. I'm making you tell the truth for the first time in your life. The bailiff steps forward. Victoria Ashford Lane is led from the courtroom. Mascara streaked. Suit wrinkled. Persona shattered. No sunglasses. No photographer. No spotlight. Just consequences. Within hours, citizen footage goes viral. Within days, brand deals collapse. Within weeks, millions of followers disappear. Because sometimes justice isn't just punishment. Sometimes, it's reality finally catching up. If you believe fame should never place anyone above the law. If you believe character matters more than clout. Backhand index pointing right, subscribe for more real courtroom stories. Speech balloon, comment what you think Judge Caprio got right. Red heart, like if accountability still matters. This wasn't just a sentence. It was a reckoning.